You've also got to decide who is important enough in your lives that you want to share this initial piece of information with. Because as you get on, you get more and more robust, and then you can tell people and you're not a sobbing mess.
I was quite shocked with the responses that you get from people. It's almost like your child's died. And you basically, people start giving you their condolences.
It took me a while to come out and tell people. It took me a good, I'd say, 6 months. You know, I think people wondered what was going on with Flynn and with us and why we weren't sort of going out as much.
If you don't feel comfortable with talking to someone about it, you don't have to. It will become easier, and so when you feel like you're comfortable talking to people about it, then that's the right time to tell people.
I couldn't tell to anybody, even my friend, when they ask me about how is Daniel going. I said, please don't ask me about Daniel. Later I can tell you.
My mum was the first person I told, and I said, well, he's got autism, but it's not autism, it's pervasive developmental disorder. And it kind of made me feel better about it, that it wasn't autism, it was like something a bit better than autism. But really all it is autism, but a higher functioning type of autism. And then I straight away said, but they want to reassess him next year. She said, oh, good. And I think that a lot of people that don't know what autism is, and at that time I didn't really either, I think people think that the child can grow out of it.
When Kingsley was first diagnosed, I found it was very emotional. I found it very difficult to talk to people about his condition. And to be honest also, I wasn't really 100% proficient in being able to explain to them exactly what the problem was.
Everybody at work knows that I have 2 boys with autism, and I take them in there quite often. So they actually all think they're just normal kids. And obviously they don't have a full understanding of what autism spectrum disorder is, but I think that most of them know what autism is. Dad's
a very, very strong Christian, and his sort of initial reaction was that a miracle would happen and Kingsley would be cured. And I think to this day that's of his mindset, that he's just waiting for God to do his work.
I didn't find it hard to tell people at all, because to me it was like almost like, see, there's a reason. My mother just thought Jack needed a good smack, and then now she's decided that, okay, well, maybe Jack doesn't need a good smack and there's another reason.
My own mother's was fantastic. She was straight into research and everything like that. My other side of the family were like, they just didn't want to know. That's, no, not my grandson. And yeah, she had 9 kids of her own and 23 grandchildren, so that was hard. We started to let people know that this was, what's going on, and this is what's wrong with Flynn. And then, finding that we had another friend, an obscure friend, who was actually going through the same thing but had a couple of years on us.
Always vividly remember that my mother-in-law actually attends a beautiful little Anglican church, and she was telling me this story where she'd told the minister of the church that her grandson, her very first grandchild, had been diagnosed with autism, and the minister had said to her, well, you're just going to have to love him that little bit more. And she had turned around to him and said, it's not possible, because I couldn't love him any more than I do.